We will go ahead and get started because I respect everybody's time. So first, we've said it again and again, but good morning. Happy that you have all taken a few minutes to come and join in with us this morning. We will get to what we normally do at the beginning of the call with wins and lessons at the end. But for now, I want to take the opportunity to hand over the presentation to Heather. So Heather Hurry is with Pillar to Post Home Inspections, the Jeff Mackey team. I will, if you have not taken advantage of Pillar to Post and specifically the Jeff Mackey team for your home inspections, I have literally used them for every home inspection I've done so far. They are a remarkable team, all the way from Lynn, who constantly answers the phone when I call, and I love her, to the actual field inspectors. They're all just a fantastic group. They're fast, they're thorough, they're just amazing to work with. So Heather's going to be talking to us a little bit about this, this morning about how they leverage technology in their home inspections and how that's important to you and what you need to know for your customers. So Heather, you have screen sharing capabilities. Take it away whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Awesome. So let me see if we can get the screen share on first and foremost. Boom. So we got that. So everybody can see that. Is everybody good? And I'll put it from the beginning here in a minute.
Yep, we got it.
Boom. Okay, awesome. Maybe I will leave them on the side there if you guys don't mind, if it's not too annoying. So hey everybody, for those of you that don't know me, I'm like, I've got a little teary-eyed, Lee. I love the introduction. We are so grateful for our realtor and broker partnerships. We really, really are. We do pride ourselves in bedside manner. And, you know, at the end of the day, it really is about the experience that the client has. And as you guys know, and you will find out quickly from me, I'm a black and white girl. I'm not really gray. So we all know that the home inspection truly can seal or kill the deal. But something else that it can do is help you market to your clients, help you leverage your capability and relationships to be able to reach more people, not only locally, but outside of the state. And there's a number of other things we're going to go through today, hoping that my technology participates and we can just kind of roll through some new technologies that we're bringing to the table for you at, guess what? No cost. Outside of the floor plan, a measured floor plan, a wall plan that takes a little bit more time. So, and you know, it does come with our premium prestige, and we'll get to all that good stuff later. But for those of you again that don't know me, I'm the marketing director at Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, the Jeff Mackey team. And yes, we have 36 franchises in Florida, but right here in Central Florida, just remember our name, okay? At the end, I'll have some of our contact info. And we know that you guys have a choice as to where your clients want to go, and we respect that. But we do work closely with a lot of your team, tons of EXP offices. It all started with a conversation I think that I had with Ben like a year ago. And then look at it, it's just exploded. So anyway, we're going to be talking about how to leverage our new technology for your benefit. Okay, so P2P 360, PTP floor plan that I mentioned, PTP estimates, which is a punch list, and PTP buyer home manual. Okay, and can everybody either give me a thumbs up or shout out? You guys good with my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. It's so weird on Zoom, like, you know, you want to, you know, us, we want to hear from you. So again, I did my introductions. I won't bore you with all those deep details, but just so you guys know, the last two programs that we offer are powered by two separate companies that are a third-party administrator for us that we totally pay for you and your client. We partner with Punch List for our estimating for repairs, and we actually have a GC that can come out and assist your clients. We also have Centriq, which is our home manual, and it's a retention app for you, and I'll tell you more about that as we go along. And we're also going to try to click on some of these links so you guys can see and hear some of the videos that you can also share with your clients to assist in, just either doing a preliminary, like part of your buyer consultation. It's just an added tool for your toolbox, or you could utilize them for yourself to educate yourself. I always say, and I love to teach, I have a heart for teaching and educating our realtors because I feel like knowledge is power. And I always say that your difference is going to be how much you know, but also who you know. So you're partnering with a company that has over 20 years of experience, not only doing home inspections, you guys, but we do WDO, wind mitt, 4-point, mold and mildew testing, lead-based paint, right up, like the list just, right, goes on and on. So you want to be partnered with someone that will mirror the same worth ethics, values, and things like that I know that you all have. And I know that from talking to Ben. So, all right. So here's some cool little pillar to post facts. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's always cool to share. Do you know that we've been in business as far as a whole 25 years? So just so you know, we're not really a fly-by-night company, obviously. Pillar to post, the Jeff Mackey team currently has 6 inspectors, full-time licensed inspectors, and we're hiring. So, I mean, maybe not y'all, but if you know anyone, we need 1 or 2 more. We always like to keep our wheels turning. You know how this industry is. But our guys go through a very rigorous training, whether they come from inspections or not, or were previously licensed or not. Jeff, Mr. Mackey, is super strict about 3 to 6 months, be in the field, shadow, pass the test. They all have a Supra E-key. They all have access and generally are affiliated with Aura. And they all have what we call a particular compliance level that they have to meet in order to, before we even put them in the field in front of clients. Because knowing what you're doing is one thing. Being able to communicate it properly and present it to the client in a positive way, right? It's not easy talking about home deficiencies positively. So we train them on how to do it. Okay, there's no shame in our game. We're teaching them. Listen, this is the way that you need to talk to the folks in the field. We've done over 2.5 million home inspections, you guys, right here locally with the Jeff Mackey team. We do a little over 200 inspections a month. So that's soak in just for a minute. So we're super busy, but we have we have capability to keep up with your capacity. Generally our turnaround, if you guys call in, is like a day or 2 out. Sometimes it's a little bit further out depending on the day you call. And Lee's shaking his head. So good. I got a witness in the house. That's good. And then as you guys know, not only are we a little old school, we print the report same day on site. But now, which we're going to talk about today, I'm excited. We are offering a free P2P 360 virtual home inspection. Wow, with every inspection. So whether it's a plus, premium, or prestige, you get that cool virtual tour. We of course are fully insured E&O. We are completely compliant with ASHME. We have general liability. We can be on site at new home construction, or we can be in a faulty mobile home, or we can be in a standard single family. It doesn't matter. Our guys are covered, and guess what? So are you. Our insurance actually covers you as the agent being on site. So God forbid anything should happen, we got you covered. All right. And then we're the choice of home inspections, programs, and services. It takes a lot to get that green check box in that particular sector. Pillar to Post has proven themselves over and over to be a consistent, credible company. And we take a lot of pride in that. I know I take a lot of pride in that. I feel very grateful to be working with a company that has a great reputation, but not only do they, say what they do what they do. They're like, it's not just, we're just not out here preaching it to you guys. We really want some input. If something's lacking, we want to know so we can improve. All right. So let's get into the nuts and bolts. Here we go. So the latest and greatest, if you haven't heard or you haven't utilized us yet, you should call soon because P2P 360 is amazing. As a realtor, we know that your time is super valuable. We also know that there are a lot of people right now that still aren't comfortable being present at the inspection. We also know there are a lot of cash investors and people that may not be in the city or the state or that can be present. So you're standing in for them. We've kind of shifted and pivoted over the last couple of years. Our atmosphere has been different on site for inspections. So we're going to give you this innovation so that now you can bring it to your clients, even if they're not there. They can feel like they're there when they open up this particular virtual tour. So what does it do for you? Well, hopefully it'll save you time. They'll immediately give you a confirmation so you can get to your closing on time or faster, right? That's the goal. I mean, we're here to get you to the closing table. We're not here to make this. I heard something the other day. I don't even know where I was. I think I was on a class for a CE class, and someone said, well, the clauses in the contract as a, cancellation. And I thought to myself, let's do a better service by our clients. I understand that that's there as an opportunity if home inspection goes awry for you to be able to protect your client, but let's work collectively together to ensure that we can move them forward. I mean, isn't that really the point? Instead of looking for the negative, let's look for the positive. So anyway, what we do is about 15 or 20 minutes, our guys get on their iPads. They've got their kind of an ingrown Matterport camera, and they will create this 360 tour completely navigable by you from your, how you guys are just sitting so comfortably right now. You could just click, click, click. And you could just watch the tour right in front of you on your phone, on your iPad, on your tablet, whatever it is, it's all accessible. And the really cool thing is it'll take you outside too. So it takes you outside, takes you inside, it swings all the way around. And I actually can send you guys a link. It's going to be too time consuming this morning to go through a lot of it. But if you would like that, Lee or maybe someone could put my email in the chat. It's just heather.hurry@pillar2post. Shoot me an email. I'll take care of you. All right. Next up, here's the accompanying floor plan that goes along with that P2P 360 virtual tour. But I will forewarn you, we have 3 different plans. 3 different options, shall I say, for your clients. We do a plus inspection, and it's kind of like the bare bones. It's almost like a glorified 4-point, where we look at all the important moving pieces, and you get the virtual tour and punch lists and Centriq, but it doesn't have this floor plan. And I want to tell you why. This floor plan, you guys, takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. Our guys are going in measuring every wall and every floor. So you think about it, right? There has to be some sort of caveat as to why we put it in premium and prestige only. So then if you do premium, which is our most popular inspection, just because it has a lot of the bells and whistles, including that mold and mildew testing, you will then receive the floor plan. Okay, and it usually comes, I think it's like 24 hours or so after the virtual tour and inspection. So it's pretty quick. And then, of course, with Prestige, which is the full gamut, which a lot of folks do the Prestige, of course, they'll receive the floor plan as well. But a lot of ladies in the house, do I have some ladies in the house? If so, say, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I love it. So for the ladies in the house, you will totally get this. We love to go in and go, oh my God, the couch goes so good there. Oh my God, the picture looks so good there. Oh my God, can you imagine, right? So, and even maybe for some of the guys in the house, I mean, hey, I don't know, but you might be a decor person as well, but it's so cool to have this available. And guess what else, guys? This is what's so exciting about this new technology is you can now download that floor plan or wall plan, Send it to the painting contractor, get an estimate without them even coming to the house. Boom, right? Send it to, you got a flooring person? If you don't, I have a good one. Send it to your flooring person, get a quick estimate. Hey, we know we're gonna have to replace the floor in the front of the house. Absolutely gotta do it, done. Get an estimate. You guys want to go out, you want to do crown molding, upgrade the house, do something new. So this is just such a great tool for you to provide for estimates or quotes from those subcontractors that you might even want to get ahead of time or during the contractual period for your customer. Why not be the hero, right? Why not give them something different than they normally wouldn't get? All right. Is everybody hanging with me?
Yep.
Good. Everybody's tracking. Awesome. Okay, so here's a few of the links, and I don't know if you can see these, but I want to see if I can click on at least the Realtor video. I want you guys to see the resources we have available for you. There is actually a sample home tour in here. There is a sample floor plan. The Realtor video is specific for you, and then the home buyer video you can send out to potential home buyer. So let me see if I can get lucky and click one of these links, or maybe I can go out of my screen and copy it. Hang tight, guys. I want you to see one of these. I don't think it's going to let me click from here. Of course not. You know, could be easy, but no. Hang on a second. Let me move this little bar. All right, guys, hang tight. I know you're seeing everything on my screen. I'm sure that's really super fun. All right. Let's check this out. Can you hear it?
We can hear it, but right now we're seeing the PowerPoint still.
I gotcha.
We're still seeing the PowerPoint.
Oh, I am so sorry. How about this?
That works.
I'm going to start it over. Thank goodness someone said that. Thank you. Cool, right?
It is cool. We didn't get a
Yes.
whole lot of audio, so if there's a way it's okay. I mean, the visual part I think was probably the most important, but if there's a way that we could get a link to that to drop in the chat.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
If I can't, you know what, real quick right now, let me do this for you guys. I want to see if I can copy this whole little section and get it to you because it's super helpful. Also, please, I'm reiterating again, feel free to shoot me an email. Look, I'm going to drop this in the chat, you guys. Hopefully this will work. Boom. And then let me just put my email again in here. You know what else I'm going to do for you guys? Because I love you like that. I'm going to put my cell phone in here so you guys have it. Okay. So super amazing, just a little things that you can do and the resources that you have available to bring it to the next level. So the next feature is punch list. Okay, so punch list, you guys, is we have what we call an estimating tool now. So let's say you see the deficiencies of the house right in your paper summary. Now you're getting the virtual tour to accompany those deficiencies. And guess what you're getting now? At the bottom of your email that comes to either your buyer or your seller, and usually we CC you guys as the realtor as well. You'll see like the actual report. You'll see the P2P 360, and at the bottom you'll see a hammer and a wrench, like that's the icon. And within about 48 hours, they will have a punch list for cost of repairs to match anything that they would like to repair, or they can use it, download it, and get their own estimates. Pretty awesome, yeah. I love this part. You know how many times people will call me and ask me, Heather, do you have an idea? And I'm like, listen, I'm not a subcontractor. I'm not a repair person. Like, I can't do that. But what I will refer them to is a cost guide. And if you guys do not have one of those already, again, please shoot me an email, because that cost guide has national averages for cost of repair. And on the very back of that cost guide, it has life expectancies of all the important things like roof, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, water heaters, right? So even if they can't get to it quick enough, like the punch list doesn't come fast enough, you guys could still use that cost guide as a leveraging tool for negotiations. Does that make sense? I'm seeing shaking heads, so that's a good thing. So this is punch list, and let's see if I can, I also just want you guys to take a peek at this. Sometimes I feel like video is so much better than me talking up here. You'll see how it will actually go through the process and what it looks like. So bear with me. Hopefully I'll share my screen this time. Thank you for whoever said that last time, because I was being a bad girl and didn't share my screen. Hang tight 1 second. Let me get this going, and then let me go to share, and boom. And then hopefully you guys will hear this audio. Let me know.
Can't really hear the audio.
Let me try to turn it up here. It's all the way up on my computer. Sorry, guys. Take a peek. Hopefully.
When you share your screen, is there a way for you to share your screen with sound?
Good idea.
Turnkey solution
Now?
for realtors to handle all the items that come off the home inspection. Go to our website, punchlistusa.com. The primary thing you do is upload a home inspection and or your repair list. From there, you get an estimate in 1 business day or less. Once the estimate's finalized and you're ready to move forward and want to schedule the work, you hit approve and you get a phone call and an email from our team right away, someone ready to come do your work. What makes us different than some of the other networks out there is that our teams are like pit crews. They are specialists at doing this one thing and doing this one thing very well. Licensed and insured contractors are on all jobs. All of our jobs are also quality controlled by a punch list staff member. We manage it from start to finish, and we do it very quickly. Punch list promise is to make sure all your items are done correctly, 100% satisfaction guarantee, and we're going to get it done on time, and we're going to get you to closing so you don't have to worry about it. Real estate repairs has been a problem in the past, but we're going to make it super easy for you moving forward.
Again, you guys, just another partner, just taking it to the next level. We just want to make sure that you're getting everything that you possibly deserve for you and your clients. Do you guys feel like that would be helpful as well? So now you've seen 3 technologies. Exciting. Again, not anything additional to what you're already paying. You know, you're just call in pillar to post, and this is what we're doing. So lastly, let me talk to you guys about this, because I find that this is a great conversational piece with your clients. It's also a great retention piece once they've closed. But so what we do is we actually offer for 1 year for free with every home inspection an app called Centriq. We call it the Home Manual. What it does is the client can go in, whether it be seller, okay, or buyer, enter all their appliances into this app, including things as silly as a hair dryer, lawnmower, weed eater, whatever they have, okay, that would be powered. They can enter this information into the app. It will download the instruction manual. If it has any recalls or any issues, it will also identify that for them. It will give them a parts list, and will give them resources on what to do if they need to replace that item. Super cool. Another great opportunity to use something different, right? To be able to retain. And also, what a lot of folks have done is they'll go back to their client after they've, like a month or so after they've moved in, and they're like, hey, how's the app? Did you get everything downloaded? How's that going? Are you getting maintenance reminders and alerts? Because you guys know the transaction doesn't stop here once you close, right? You're going to want to go back and talk to those folks about different things. Actually, in our hard copy binder that we print out the report on site same day, it has a seasonal maintenance checklist, and it actually has a section as well for receipts. The reason why we do that is a twofold. One, we know that eventually, or in these days and times, in the next 2 or 3 years, that buyer may now be the seller. Right? So we want all those receipts and all that information in the same place, so that when they're ready to put it back on the market, they open that binder, your card's in the front cover, and all the paperwork is there. Easy breezy, right? Same thing. It's the same thing. Even if it was a seller and they did a pre-listing inspection, they could reopen that book, or they could share that inspection with a serious buyer. You guys can use that as tools too. So I'm not going to play this particular video because it's really just about the metrics of Centriq and how it's set up. But here are some of the things that it does cover, which is pretty cool. So it'll literally tell you what Centriq covers, and then, what is recalled. So it'll give them a very, robust list at some things that they may need to take a look at. No big deal. It's just things that they may need to take a look at. This is actually what it looks like on your phone. I actually download the app myself because I find it fun to talk to people about it. And, I actually entered my own house with some of my items. I wanted to see how it worked. And quite candidly, who doesn't need instruction guides, parts, and recalls for your own house? So there you go. There's my gift to you today. You get Centriq, go in and check it out. And after that first year, I think there's like a $40 or $50 charge for the buyer to continue to access it, but it's super reasonable. It's like for the whole year, right? So, I don't want to throw a whole lot at you guys today, because I want us to have time to dialogue here at the end. Most importantly, I wanted you to know the free and amazing resources that we have out there to leverage technology and home inspection to partner with you guys to get you to the next level. We have a heart to serve you. We're always willing to educate. Mr. Mackey gets on the phone with anyone that sends us in anything less than a 10 on a review. Mr. Mackey picks up the phone literally and talk to them. If you've got like an irate customer or someone that's a bit difficult, or you really feel like they're not getting it, Mr. Mackey will get on the phone with them too. So you've got someone in the office that's not only the owner, but he's got a heart to serve, and he really does want to address the issues, and also celebrate the victories. It's got a lot of victories too. So I'm going to open up the floor, you guys. Shoot a few things at me. It doesn't have to be related to what we talked about, and I'm here to answer. Surely somebody has something.
I actually have a question.
Yes. I'm going to
So
stop my share.
So I don't know if you guys would deal with this exactly because it's a roof issue. Hi, Ben.
Oh, Ben's here. Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
I couldn't see you.
But my sellers they realized they had never pulled a permit for their roof repair.
Mm-hmm.
So now that it's been 2 years since they completely replaced the roof, they were wondering how to get a permit now that we're under contract with the VA loan and we need to show that we have a permit. We need to have an inspector go out.
Probably one of your team members could answer that as well. You guys have all these crazy experiences, but just for me, I'm a little dangerous because my past life was also construction, in project management. But what we used to do is we just go directly to the city or the county, and whatever information that we had, we could provide it to them. And typically they came back out and would do just a re-roof inspection, or they would, not necessarily inspection, excuse me. They would do just an acceptable permit. But I know that, there's different protocol for that. I know for us, that is one of the things that we look at before we get on site. Our guys actually go to, whether it be the city or county, and try to look up what they have online as far as permits or any open permits and things like that. It's not a necessity for us, but we'd rather protect you and do that. So any other input you guys have as a team for the roof situation? The roof's on now.
Yeah, and the roof is new. It's just, I contacted the city of Apopka and they have to get back to me. They said that they would have to call me back, so.
Yeah, that might be one of those things where you be good to walk in too. Just a thought. Yeah. So great question though. I wish I had a little bit more on it, but it's a bit out of my wheelhouse. Yet whenever you get ready for that inspection, feel free to call our office. Something else that I would suggest, and I don't know that they did it, is a wind mitigation for that roof. Only because a lot of people don't realize if you get the newer roof, you can do a wind mitigation inspection. It costs like $150, but it can save you up to $1,000 a year on your homeowner's insurance. And people don't remember to do that. And I'm like, you guys got to do that. And again, that's another great retention tool for your clients. Anyone that that's doing any type of renovation, especially related to the roof, make the recommendation for us to come back out and do that wind mit, save them some money. Anybody else? All right. Well, I guess I covered my bases pretty well then. Nathan?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about solar panels. Now that that's a whole thing now, what is your experience?
Solar Wooler. Let's just put it to you this way. If they're on there, we inspect. We have to inspect the roof. We have to inspect solar. We have to inspect security, meaning how it's secured. I would definitely recommend a wind mitigation on that. You've now got solar panels attached to the roof, and you want to make sure that those, excuse me, I want to sound really country right now, those suckers don't go anywhere. Okay. So that's a big deal. As far as solar is concerned though, Nathan, let me tell you something though. Everybody has their own opinion if it's good and bad and indifferent. You know what? I'm not even going to go there. But for us, we're used to going out, seeing solar and expecting it on the roof and giving you a full report. So it's not a surprise to us. We haven't had huge issues with it as it relates to the inspection side. Now, I don't know about the contractual side. I know it's a little more complicated, but inspection wise, it seems like the companies are doing a decent job.
Hopefully they'll keep it going then.
Yeah. I mean, I know that the pricing has pretty much doubled, but I don't know a whole lot more than that. I know it is very difficult though for clients, buyers or sellers that go to look at like removing them or reinstalling them or doing something in the middle of a contract. Oh God, please don't do that. I mean, you guys know that much, right? So I would just be really conscientious about making sure the permits were pulled. I would go to the city and make sure that the due diligence was done. I would make sure that there was a final inspection, and I would make sure that you have all the paperwork to accompany the install, service, meaning they got to check off, you know, the inspector has to check off if it met code or whatever, they come out and do that, and then the end result. And you can find all that online yourself.
Yeah, I actually just discovered that you now have to, well, I didn't even think about permits and solar
Oh,
power,
yeah.
or solar panels, didn't think about that. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
said wind mitigation, install, service, and results, and I would definitely add permits to my list.
Yes, sir. I think just cover all your bases, you know?
Yeah.
You probably, I mean, and this is just me sidebar for a minute, you guys, just because my son got in a situation with this with solar, but he also, it might be good to know what your current balance is and payoff. Just saying, if you're on the
May I
real
ask why? Just, you know, as a lesson learned for this story.
My son has an investment property out in Dundee, and about a month into it, everybody and their brother knocked on his door to give him all this good stuff: water purification, ADT, solar panels. Of course, he took it all. And he found out later that the particular buyer, now I don't know about in every situation, so I'm talking to you guys candidly about this with our scenario. They actually had to get a secondary loan and qualify based on credit score and financing for the panels outside of the financing to purchase the home. So I just think there's some moving pieces there that I've experienced. Just saying, do not quote me. I'm not an attorney, nor am I anyone that's been in the middle of that transaction. But heads up, guys, like, be smart, right? We learned the hard way because my son was, stubborn.
Do you charge more for a solar inspection? Like, is it a separate
No.
request?
No, it's based on the square footage of the house and whatever the size of the roof. There might be a little bit of a difference if it's like a hip gable flat, depending on like where our guys have to walk and what we have to get to. But typically, no, I haven't seen any difference in the inspection cost. Might take a little bit more time though.
Regarding your 360, how is that best used? Is that for people that can't attend the inspection? Is that the primary purpose?
Yeah, and we're trying to move along with technology as well, right? Everyone wants to kind of see something from a virtual perspective with video and photos. But typically what we've seen is if they've got a family member here and they want to share it with a family member out of state, right? Or if it's an investor that cannot be on site, or a buyer or someone out of state, it's just a great resource. You can just send them the link and let them look at it. Everybody gets their grace. Okay, good, let's move forward. And it's a lot easier than forwarding them a paper copy of a report that they have no clue how to read.
Right. And then the other two services you went over, are those provided, like the access to those or the links or whatever to the customer at the time of the inspection, like the book and the booklet you provide? Okay.
Yes, I understand. So what happens is first, they will get the printed paper copy on site, but the next day by noon, you and the client will get the P2P 360, and shortly thereafter, usually within 24 hours, we'll send out another link for a floor plan and punch list. And then Centriq's already on the bottom of the screen. So you'll get virtual tour, printed report, and Centriq immediately. You will get punch list for the cost of repairs, and the floor plan 24 to 48 hours after. But your client, right, whoever's purchasing the inspection is the only one privy to that. So they'll have to go in and click the button to receive it. So you need to educate them. Listen, you guys, if you're getting an email from Pillar Post, open the doggone thing, click on the link, and, because there might be something that's coming later. It takes a little bit more time to process. We usually CC you, but whoever purchases that inspection has all rights to it. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. How about you, Ben, fearless leader?
Do you have any specific questions?
Yes.
Ooh, are there any inspections that you guys don't do that you're commonly asked for? I know you cover WPO. Windows.
Yes, that's a great question, Ben. So we do not do septic inspections. We have a company that we refer to that is called Septic Dominators. So if you have septic, we do not do that, but we do water testing, meaning well water testing, and we will check the kitchen sink and the outside portal for bacteria and water, like water vitamin quality. Also, we don't do a deep dive, no pun intended, for pool. We do a $50 pool inspection. We make sure everything is functioning, primarily equipment-wise and operational. But if you guys are looking at a luxury home or something has a little bit of a bigger pool and you know there might have been possible issues, I would suggest that you use a separate company for a more detailed pool inspection. I think that's probably the two biggest ones that we have to refer out. Anybody else? Yes, what else, Ben?
I was just gonna say, fun fact for everyone, if you didn't.
Okay. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. Can I say a fun fact about me? Because that's kind of, it's always more funny when it's me.
Yeah.
So my first job, I interned for Walt Disney World. I was 16. Actually, I might have been right out of my 15. I think I was 16, and I did characters. So I was Chip and Dale, White Rabbit, Gideon. I was a first Francis and Darger. And I also danced in the parades as a face country girl, and I did Snow White for 6 months.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I loved it. And I actually was there seasonally. Oops, sorry, guys. I was there seasonal for almost 10 years. I used to dance in their Christmas parades and do all that good stuff when I was younger and more fit. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. Let me take a quick look at the chat. I love it. Wonderful. Did all of you, I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to copy and paste my info once again. Please reach out. A lot of you already have my information. At any time, if you need quicker service, just know this. Call the office. Right? I'm going to throw the number in here too. They can answer any questions that you guys have. Also, we have an online portal. You can go in and request a price or actually schedule an inspection. So I put those in there for you as well. Always a pleasure. We're very grateful for our relationships, and we look forward to continuing to add value to you and your team.
Thank you so much, Heather. Absolutely appreciate the time, the information, and everything. Again, for everybody on the call, I cannot sing the praises of Pillar to Post, the Jeff Mackey team enough. They are fantastic to work with, excellent business partners. So, we're grateful for your partnership as well. For everybody on the call on the team, you will find the Pillar to Post Jeff Mackey team in Follow Up Boss, actually under Heather's name. So if you search for Heather Hurry in Follow Up Boss, you will find her, you will find her team and their contact information. Definitely reach out to them. They're amazing. So thank you once again, Heather. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Yeah. Everybody have a great rest of the day and weekend, and I look forward to seeing your names pop up in our phone queue.
Excellent.
See ya.
Thanks.
You too. Thanks, Heather.
You're very welcome, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. A couple of things really quickly. I know that we're running just a little bit over, and I apologize for that. First, for those of you on the team, I sent a message on Slack last night regarding the invitation that our team has been invited to. I am going to be giving Sharon final numbers this morning. So if you are planning to attend, be sure you are actually going to attend and let me know how many tickets you'd like to request. I'm going to be sending that to her no later than noon. So yeah, I'll need that from you ASAP. I was thinking there was
Lee, along
yes.
with that, I'm gonna drop on the social channel the poll for how many clients everybody is.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you want to talk about that? Because I have not mentioned that yet. And I actually, that was the thing I was thinking of.
sure.
Okay.
Sure, definitely. So everyone, I'm gonna drop a poll in a little bit with a couple options of how many people you could invite for the event that we have for the client appreciation in December. And Jen needs a very close number by tomorrow so that she can order the invitation. So please, whatever you sign up for, make sure you are inviting that amount of people so that we don't, these invitations don't go to waste, and we can have a better idea of like how many people we are inviting and should expect.
Really quick clarification on that, just because everybody, I'm sure, is thinking, I'm never going to be able to put together a list like that in such short notice. We don't necessarily need to have addresses and all that right now. We just need to have an idea of how many people you're intending to invite to the client appreciation event. So that way we can plan for the number of invitations that we'll be sending out. And like Mararis said, we don't want invitations going to people that you're not going to be inviting. So just give us a number for now, and then later on we can circle back and get the addresses to mail the invitations.
Yeah, I think we need the addresses like in a week or so. So right now for tomorrow, just the number, but plan right after to start getting addresses so that we are, just working towards that for Jen.
Any questions on that? Fabulous. Ben, anything from you?
Yeah, shadowing opportunity tomorrow night. I got a show about 4 different condo buildings in downtown Orlando. If you're interested in shadowing me, we will be starting at 6 p.m. and going till about 7:30 p.m. If you're interested, reach out, shoot me a text. If you are planning on going to EXPCon, please let us know. We are coordinating rooms and flights today. The cost of the rooms are going to go up on October 15th. So that is only 15 days away, but we would recommend locking some things down, especially if you are going to be sharing a room, or if you want to share a room, we can talk about those possibilities as well. Thirdly, if you want to stay on for about 5 minutes, I'm going to review an offer that came in on one of our listings and write up how we're going to counter the offer and rip it apart. So if you are interested in watching me dissect that, hang out for about 5 minutes after Lee says we're done with the huddle.
Is that only for team? Because I would
Nope.
really like that.
Yeah, no, that's for everyone. So.
Anybody on the call have any deal specific questions that you want us to address before we wrap this up, or anything that you want to share? It doesn't have to be necessarily deal specific question, anything you want to share. Okay, well, I have like a huge announcement, and some of you this will resonate with. I am closing on that mobile home today. And I am more thrilled than anyone has the right to be.
Congratulations.
It's only been since March. I mean, come on.
Not that long.
It's been forever. That is amazing.
All right, if no one has anything, we are going to wrap it up. As Ben said, feel free to hang out for a little bit if you want to talk about the offer. And otherwise, yeah, go and have a wonderful, productive day.
Oh, Haley.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I did have an announcement. If anybody didn't know or didn't look at the Aura calendar, the Aura Expo is coming up short. I think it's in October. Tickets are currently out. All the bigwigs are going to be there. It's going to be, man, I really wish I had all the details when I wanted to say this, but go on Aura. There's an Aura Expo conference going on very soon. Tickets are starting, I think, at $25. There's so much going on. Check it out.
I got an email. I haven't opened it yet, but yeah, thank you for reminding us about that. I did get an email about it.
Yeah, I think I saw an email come in about that this morning, so I'm glad you brought that up. I, for right this second, can't seem to locate it, but I believe it came in this morning.
Ooh. Okay. Thank you for the Aura reminder email. I've actually never been to the Aura Expo, so this would probably be the first year I should go. All right, so this offer came in on one of our listings, and we are going to make some changes as to what we need to update to make sure our seller is protected. So first off, we're scrolling through the top of the offer here. Personal property, we don't really need to change anything. This property does not have any appliances. Actually, it doesn't even have a dishwasher, refrigerator, or range. So nothing is excluded or included. So the purchase price, $217, that's fine. Deposit, $3,000. So it's kind of a lower deposit when we're representing the seller. We kind of want our offers or buyers to, really go a bit higher just so they have more skin in the game, so make counter on that. What is incorrect or missing under section 2?
The financing.
Let me clarify. This is an FHA offer. Now what's missing?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
Yep. So this is an FHA offer. And so something is missing under section 2.
Loan amount?
Yes, loan amount or financing. Same thing, line 38 is blank. So because this is an FHA offer, that means the down payment is 3.5%, which means the loan amount or the financing percentage will be 96.5%. So line 38 would need to be updated to 96.5%. And once you update that, then line 41, the balance to close, have to be updated as well. All right. We have our closing date, or our expiration date, which is October 1st. No issues there. And then we have our closing date, which is on or before November 5th. No issues there. November 5th is in fact a Friday, so no big deal. So it's going down. Assignability. Typically in all contracts, we check the last one, which is may not assign this contract. Assignability would be if the buyer was assigning this contract while under contract to another entity or another buyer. It doesn't really happen unless it's something like Open Door or Zillow, where they are stepping in to buy the house. Home Partners doesn't even use assignability because the contract is actually written in Home Partner's name, not the name of the tenant. So financing section B, this contract is contingent upon approval of checked FHA. That's good. Within 30 days of the effective date. That's pretty long, but doable. They must have added in this check after someone proofread it, because they have a check here for fixed adjustable rate, which is fine, not to exceed blank. And if that's blank, then it's prevailing, right? That's all right. I think you guys can see what I highlight things. And then terms for 30 years if it's blank. I always recommend filling this stuff in. Most people don't, but still recommend it because blanks are blank. And down here, all right, so title evidence and insurance. So this is the section where they assign who is designating the closing agent or the title company. Closing agent and title company are the same thing. So if I is checked, or the first one, then the seller is designating the closing agent and is paying for the owner's policy charges. This is pretty standard and typical. If II, or the second one is checked, then the buyer shall designate the closing agent and the buyer shall pay for the owner's owner's policy and charges, which means the buyer is taking on a little bit more disclosures than a little bit more closing costs than the seller. Any questions on that? No, cool. Home warranty. Someone actually called me recently and asked about this. Home warranty and the contract that they were negotiating was checked, and it said at closing, seller, which was checked, shall pay for home warranty issued by blank at a cost not to exceed blank. And his seller wanted to accept the contract, but seller was checked and the first blanks, the first and second blank were not filled out, right? So let's pretend this is that situation. Let's pretend seller is checked, but this blank and that blank are not filled out. Then the question is, well, what do you assume? Do attorneys assume that the seller is buying any home warranty not to exceed any budget and they're paying for it and that is an unknown? Or if this is blank and this is blank, then warranty plan issued by blank, which means no one, at not to exceed blank, which means it doesn't apply, right? So that leaves up questions when there are blanks in the situations. If for some reason what I recommended to him is seller was checked, right? He wanted to execute the contract, but he didn't want to have to go back and have initials after filling this line in. Well, addendums supersede the contract, right? So an addendum, which is attached to the contract, right? And a contract is very linear. So something later in a contract or an addendum that comes after the contract supersedes what was written before it, unless otherwise stated. So what he decided to do was write an addendum to the contract that specified the home warranty company and the cost, rather than filling this in so that he could execute the contract that day, and that day could be the effective date, instead of having to go back and wait on the buyer to initial buy those changes the following day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, could you put to be determined in there just so it's not interpreted as no one needs to be provided, like you mentioned, or and then do the addendum like he did?
You could, but even if he wrote in to be determined, that's a change on the contract that the other party would have to initial buy. But you are correct. If you were filling this out for your buyer.
Yeah, initially.
Yeah, if you were filling this out for your buyer and your buyer didn't pick a home warranty company, or, this is all last minute, you're kind of throwing it in there, you could write it in, this at closing, seller shall pay for home warranty plan issued by, the by is kind of screwing it up, issued by home warranty company of buyer's choice is how I would write it.
Right.
So rather than to be determined, right? Issued by a home warranty company by the buyer's choice or something like that. So special assessments, we always check the first one typically, which means the seller will pay any installments prior to closing, buyer will pay installments after closing. Jumping down here, inspection period, the buyer's asking for a 9-day inspection period. That's incredibly long. So we're probably going to counter back on that and see if we can shorten it to 5 days. That's line 349. And why do we want to counter it on the inspection period? Why do we want a shorter inspection period as the listing agent?
I mean, as a listing agent, just to give them less time for negotiation options.
We don't want the buyer to drag their feet and cancel the contract 9 days and have the property off the market for such a long period of time. So we'll counter back on that. And this contract, I think, was revised, which is why it's not such a huge doozy right now. But can someone read the additional terms and tell me what that means?
I think I know what they're going for, but that actually makes no sense. It looks like they're buying the house for $2,000.
Right? Well, part of it was the buyer will make up the difference in cash of full asking price of $2,000 at closing due to approval amount, which is not appraisal amount. Right. So what we think is happening is that the buyer will proceed with the contract if the appraisal comes in $2,000 below the purchase price. So we're going to reword that. And that's why we're not going to let our seller just sign this, because this doesn't make sense. And it could be misconstrued in multiple different ways. The other disclosure that is missing, actually, I'm realizing, is this property is pretty old. And I think they actually included it. Yeah, they did. So we have a lead paint disclosure that has been fully executed, but we do not have the lead paint disclosure checked on page 11 of the contract. So we would need that checked as well.
Is there an HOA?
There is not for this property. All right. There were some terms that we've started countering. I'm not even sure why I'm listed there. I should be. There are some additional terms that we were throwing into counters when we were doing counter offers as listings. Lee, any idea where that list is?
The list of, I'm sorry, what?
Like a standard bullet. I have to do some digging for a standard. There's a few standard bullet plate counter terms that I want to start adding to every listing agreement. That's it. I want to copy the appraisal. So buyer. The two things we are adding to our counters on the listing side for clarity purposes is going to be regarding the appraisal. What's this one? No. I got the naming conventions. Yeah, that wasn't it either. I will find it. Okay. So how do we counter back, right? So just so everyone knows, there's two options here, right? Just from a process standpoint. One option is we can make all of these changes that I just kind of outlined on this contract. We could write in the financing amount. We could cross out the balance to close and write in the correct amount above it. And we can have the seller initial by all of these changes, or we can send back the changes. Like we can email the agent who submitted the offer, and we could say, seller would like to move forward with your offer with the following changes. Please update the contract. The latter is what I like to do normally, right? Is ask the buyer's agent to update the contract. So two reasons. One, it's going to delay this a day, which is going to let us drag our feet, which is going to let us potentially get another offer on the table from the showings that are occurring on the listing today. Two, it makes it much more clean, right? So if we have to go through here and cross things off, then our seller has to initial and sign the whole offer, and then their party has to initial by those changes. And there's a lot of back and forth, and it's very convoluted. It's not what we call a clean contract. So that would be those changes there. I did get a question in the chat. If the buyer asks for some repairs after the inspection, should I write an addendum about the seller is responsible for that, or no, it's not necessarily? Yes. I mean, if the buyer, if you are on the listing side, right, and the buyer's agent asks for repairs, then the buyer's agent should write the addendum with the list of repairs that are being requested, not the seller. right? So everything that happens from a contract standpoint, right? You guys are going to want the other party to typically do it first. If you're the buying side, typically you write the documents first, and then you send it to, you have your buyer sign it, and then you send it to the seller. If you're on the listing side and the buyers are asking for repairs, have the buyer's agent write the addendum for repairs, and then you can review it and have your seller sign it. You're going to want to review the wording of repairs, because there's typical, the two things that people miss. There's three things that actually people miss when they're writing repair addendums. The first is that the work is to be done by a licensed contractor. People leave that out all the time, which means, okay, I'll pay my uncle $20 to go retile the kitchen, right? The second thing that people miss is a deadline. When does the repairs have to be done, right? You don't necessarily want repairs just to say that the seller will do the repairs, but you should have a timeline. And I typically recommend that repairs will be done 3 days prior to closing, because that allows you, the buyer's agent, to walk the property after the repairs are done. And then you can cause issues prior to closing rather than finding out the day of closing date if repairs are not done. The third thing that people, that listing buyer's agents forget in their repair addendums is evidence, right? I want proof that the repairs are done or being done. So that could be the buyer and or buyer's agent will supply copies of paid invoices as repairs are completed. Or the buyer or buyer's agent will provide seller, I'm sorry, that's all reversed, my bad. His repairs are done by the seller. The listing agent or seller will provide paid invoices as work is completed or as repairs are completed. The listing agent or seller will provide photos to the buyer's agent or buyer as the work is completed. So great question. What other contract related questions or deal specific questions do you guys have? Cool. Well, that's it for today. I just wanted to share that with you guys. So if you have any questions, if you ever get into a spot of negotiation where you have to respond to the other party, or they send you an addendum or an extension to sign or whatever, please don't hesitate to send it to me, text it to me, and just say, hey, I want you to read through this, make sure it's all good. Having done this quite a few times, I can tell you that there's better way to word things to make sure you're protected. You, the agent, you, your party, but also to make sure that there's no confusion, right? Poorly worded addendums is where confusion is caused between the parties. The party is upset, and then people get angry, right? There's a big difference between using the word repair and replace, or versus replace. And if you don't hold the other party accountable, you could have someone do a quick fix patch job on a repair, and your customer, your buyer, not know until after they have totally gone under contract and closed. So just keep that in mind. Cool. So thank you guys for tuning in. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we are not doing a huddle, just a heads up. It is an expansion group meeting, which is going to be in EXP World. I believe Lee has or will send out the invite to everyone if you haven't gotten it already. So it will be in EXP World. So, yes, Kelly. Cool.
Okay, well, thank you for hosting. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Ben, question.
Yes.
So if basically if you're representing the buyer, you went back to the seller agent and said, hey, all right, inspection came back, all this stuff needs to be done. Boom, they knock out enough of it so the VA inspector will approve it, but your buyers are still a little leery about some of the things they didn't fix, but our inspector pillar to post found. Do you think a negotiating tool might be, why don't you, the seller, offer my buyer a home warranty for 24 months? Is that a negotiation tool that could work?
Absolutely, yeah. So in lieu of asking the seller to do repairs, you can always ask for a credit toward a home warranty or for the seller to buy a home warranty for the buyer. Typically, home warranties are not done on a 24-month timeline. Typically, they're only done for a month. And the cost of home warranties will range anywhere from $500 to $800, depending on what the company is and what they cover. So we've used that tactic before, both representing the buyer and also representing the seller. So for instance, if a buyer comes and says, the AC is old, we want it replaced, in lieu of replacing the AC, we will say it is functional, it still cools based on the inspection report you provided, and we're not going to give you $6,000 to replace it. We're not going to replace it. Instead, we'll just give you $700 for a home warranty, which not only covers partially the AC, but everything else. So it's definitely a way to kind of ease concerns.
So I think that's going to come up with the deal I'm going through now. The seller agent said they'll fix whatever they need to do to get it to pass the VA inspection, but they're not going to do any more. So we're waiting to see. That's where we're at, kind of.
So do you have the list of the inspection? You have the inspection report.
Correct. And I get Lee has it too. I was meant to ask him yesterday if he looked at it, but I forgot. I don't want to put him on the spot.
And in regards to that inspection, when does the inspection period end?
Actually, that's what I'm working on now, because it's going to be over, I think, in tomorrow or Monday. That's a topic I'm working on now. Do you want me to forward the inspection report to you so you have it?
Is this winter set?
Yes.
No, I have it because it's on your drive. So
yeah, I uploaded it there like yesterday.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
It's my job, isn't it?
It is. I'm going to move some of your files into the archive folder so you don't have to stare at all of them besides the winter set one.
All right, so Pillar to Post did a great job. They went above and beyond from my limited experience. And then the listing agent, who her husband is a VA, so she said they buy all their homes through VA, said a lot of stuff they found the VA inspectors won't even look at, which, okay, great for getting the deal done, but not great for peace of mind of my buyers.
Yeah, so let's look at your inspection period and see when it ends so that we can determine if they need to, like, if you guys need to write an addendum for those repairs. I mean, no matter what, you got to write an addendum for the repairs that you guys want done.
And hopefully by today, I'll get the listing agent. She's going to give me an idea how long it's going to take them to do said repairs. And then I was going to talk to you, or actually you now, because Lee is going out of town, about how to do the addendum for the extended period.
Okay, so, but do you have a list of the specific repairs that the buyer is asking the seller to do? Yes.
The list is off of the inspection report that the listing agent is going to get back to me on everything they are going to do, offer to do. And then I'm going to look that over with my buyer. Okay. She hasn't got that to me yet.
Okay. So yeah, once you get that, then forward that to me. Obviously, like, we ask for repairs, but like the home inspection reports are typically like always 50 pages or more. And so I will say that we don't normally ask for every single little thing to be done. But, you know, I mean, you can always ask. So we will, we'll see, we'll advise the clients once they come back with that listing. So it looks like it's a lot of minor stuff except wood rot.
Wood rot. And then the WDO says it's seen evidence of beetle infestation in the wood, but it says prior to milling, which to me means before it was ever installed on the house, because it's smooth. But is that going to kill that because it's on the WDO?
So who's the lender?
It's Guild Mortgages, VA, out of Washington State.
I would, so remind me, we'll probably want to send that to the, that lender and have them kind of like read through it and,
Did that yesterday.
and did they have an issue? Did they say this WDO inspection, this WDO issue is going to cause an issue with financing?
No, they haven't responded via email, text, or phone. But I haven't tried them
Okay.
yet. They're still 3 hours behind out there yet.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, this is the different time zone. That's annoying. Do they really turn their spa into a koi pond?
Yes, and it's loaded with koi. And one of the concerns the buyer want to know who's feeding the koi while no one's there. So I've got the answer to that.
Does the buyer want the koi removed?
Yeah, no, they want the koi for their sons. They think the sons are things would be great. Actually, that's, believe it or not, one of the selling points, which,
Was to leave the spa as a koi pond?
yes. This is a lot of strange little twists and turns. This one.
Yeah. Okay, that's gonna like over time deteriorate the granite surface of the.
Well, that's on the inspection report also, that there is gunite wear and tear inside the pool because the spa does not work. And one of the,
Well, that's yeah.
the listing, the listing agent said the spa did not work previous to them even buying the house, and they have no intentions of fixing it. And I related that to the buyers before we even went this far, and they said, no, we don't want it fixed. We want to keep it a koi pond.
Okay. God bless them. Okay, cool. Well, let me know when you get the update from the listing agent, and we'll go from there.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Bye.